Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the soil exploration and sampling technique topic. Myself, Dr. K. Yuvaraj, Department of Civil Engineering, K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology. Here, these are the list of content we are going to discuss in the today classes. Introduction to soil exploration, and then scope and objectives, and then methods of soil exploration. Here method of soil exploration classified into three types. The first one is a direct method, the second one is a semi-direct method, the third one is a indirect methods. Finally concluded sampling techniques. Here two sampling techniques we will discuss in the today classes: split spoon sampler and thin valved sampler. The first one is a introduction to soil exploration. Soil exploration means the study of subsurface soil condition before construction. It helps us identifying the soil properties, soil layer and groundwater table. Okay, it's just like a doctor examining a patient before prescribing treatment. Engineers must examine the soil before designing the foundation. Without soil exploration, there is a high risk of settlement or even failure of structure will occur. The next one is a scope and objectives of soil exploration. The scope and objectives of soil explorations are included determining the soil stratification and thickness of the layer, and then find engineering properties that mean strength soil and compressibility of soil and permeability of the soil, and to locate the depth of groundwater table, and also provide data for safe and economical foundation design by exploring the soil. Okay, and also prevent the failure by predicting the soil behavior. And the main objectives include knowing how much load the soil can be bear and how much settlement may occur and whether water pressure will affect stability. Okay, and then next one is a method of soil exploration. Here there are three main methods of soil exploration are involved: direct methods, semi-direct methods and indirect methods. Each method has its application depending on depth, soil type and accuracy required. In the direct method, trial bits and trenches are involved, and then semi-direct method which involving boring like auger boring, wash boring, rotatory drilling, and in the indirect method such as geophysical techniques like seismic refraction and electrical resistivity. Here the first one is a direct method. It is a very simplest method. We dig pits or trenches and observe the soil layer directly, and they are reliable for the shallow foundation because engineer can see and even take block sample. However, they are not suitable for deeper exploration as they become costly and unsafe beyond 3 to 5 meter. And the second one is a semi direct method. These are the most common in practices. In the first, auger boring is suitable for the shallow and soft soil, and the wash boring is widely used and work in the most soil types. Rotated drilling is powerful enough to penetrate the hard soil and rock layers. The advantages of these methods is that they allow us to collect the soil sample at different depth. These are some example figures of auger boring, wash boring and the rotatory drilling for your reference. And then indirect method are based on soil physical properties were used. In seismic refraction, sound waves are passed into the ground and their velocity indicates soil or rock types. And also in electrical resistivity, current is passed through the soil and the resistance gives information about the moisture and soil type. These are the different in the seismic refraction and electrical resistivity. Okay, these methods are quick and economical for the larger area, but they need to combined with the boring for the better accuracy. These are the figures for your reference for the seismic refraction method or electrical resistivity method. And then the sampling technique. The sampling is a very important step in the soil exploration. There are two types of samplers are involved: distributed sample and undistributed sample. Distributed sample where the natural structure is lost but they are still useful for the classification test such as a grain size, atmospheric limit and moisture content. But in the undistributed sample where the natural soil structure is preserved, these are needed for advanced strength of the soil and compressibility test like a triaxial test or consolidation test. So the quality of sampling directly affect the reliability of the laboratory result. Okay, here sampling collected two methods. The first one is a split spoon sampler method and second one is a thin walled sampler method. Here first one is a split spoon sampler method. It is very most widely used tool, especially in the standard penetration test or SPT. In this test, a hammer is dropped to drive the sampler into the soil and the number of blows is counted. This count gives an indirect measure of soil, strength of soil and density of the soil. The sampler also collects distributed soil sample for classification and it is widely used for sand and silty soil. And also recover distributed soil sample, it is very useful, and depth wise resistance gives soil strength we noted in the split spool sampler test method. Okay, here these are the images for your reference for collecting the sample by using the split spoon sampler method. Okay, here first initially 36.5 kg drop hammer repeatedly falling 0.76 meter by using bore drill rod. Okay, in the borehole method every 0.76 meter the soil penetrated into hard strata. When finally n value, that means standard penetration test value are counted. Okay, and then finally we get the SPT n value for using the split spoon sampler test method. Okay, here next one is a thin walled sampler. It is also called as a shell by tube. It is used for collecting undistributed sample, especially in the clay. The tube is pushed into the soil without impact, so disturbance is minimal. So the soil inside retain its natural structure and moisture and making it suitable for advanced laboratory testing of shear strength, compressibility and permeability, right? And also it best for clay and soft cohesive soil it will be used. This is a example figure for your reference. Here drill rod, casting yarn, okay, sampling tube are the apparatus required for collecting the sample in the thin walled sampler. Finally, conclusion from the topic: soil exploration is essential before any construction, and also different methods are available depending on the soils and depth, and also sampling whether distributed or undistributed play a vital role in a reliable soil testing. Finally, took like a split spoons and thin walled sampler are also commonly used in practice. So final, if the soil exploration is done carefully, it ensures safe, stable and economical foundation design. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for watching.